Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
So, yeah.
How you feel?
Baruch Hashem, feel a lot better every day.
That's good. That's good.
Every day, get my strength back. Yeah. Pretty soon I'll be running around the block.
Okay. I
The
want
other-
to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah. The other day, the shear on, let's say, Reisman was if you're allowed to run to shul. So I wish I could violate that, sir.
Oh, you're not around. You're not allowed.
You're not allowed to run to shul. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you're not take big steps on Shabbos, but I guess for certain reasons you can. I guess if you're going to go for the simcha of davening, I guess you could go. I don't know. Wasn't quite up to what he was saying. Everybody has their opinion, but
So you should get up much earlier, so you don't have to be late.
yeah, that's where you come early. That's right.
That's
Yeah.
that must be the reason.
Right. You can't take big steps on Shabbos. We're talking about Shabbos, running to shul on Shabbos. Because you're doing the mitzvah, so maybe you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. How was the rabbi today? Spoke okay? Rabbi, you listen. Rabbi speaks.
Yeah. Today we had a guest rabbi.
Okay.
It was okay.
You have a full shul, right? Every Shabbos?
Today was pretty much very full because tomorrow we have a Sefer Torah dedication to the former rabbi.
Oh, really? Oh, that's nice.
So it's a lot of people came from out of town.
Oh, it's for Rabbi Krauss, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. What time is Achnos Sefer Torah?
Say it again.
What time is Achnos Sefer Torah?
Well, at 12:30 we meet at the son's house. I'm supposed to write the last letters, and then at 1:30
the march.
The march.
To shul. Oh.
Yeah.
Where's the son live?
Next to my house, a block away, on 172 South Formosa.
Shavuot Tov, what's going on? Oh, where does he live? Where does the son live?
On 172 South Formosa.
So where's that? Across the road from Mickey Felix? Where is that?
Yeah, exactly across.
And what time is it starting there?
At the son's house at 12:30.
Which means what? 1 o'clock, 1:15.
And then 1:30 in shul.
They're going to walk from the son's house to shul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, George.
Good Vach. How are you?
Good Vach. ¿Cómo está?
Baruch Hashem, bien. Estoy de turno trabajando en el hospital de los veteranos.
Oh, de turno.
So I am staying busy.
That's good.
I don't know about that, but it is interesting. It's good. It keeps the going.
Yeah. So what is her name?
No idea.
He's still enjoying Shabbos.
Walter, call him up.
You're the boss here.
No, I'm not. I'm no boss.
You're the boss. You're running the Zoom. Come on, you've got to switch the Zoom off. It's not.
It's late now. And then he will.
8 o'clock is the other share. Oh, see?
Talking of the devil.
סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה.
Shavua Tov, everybody.
שבוע טוב.
Shavua Tov.
We are on Yud Beit. Actually, Yud Aleph Amud Beit on the bottom. At 12. Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef Rav Yochanan. Ha'omer l'shlucho. Person says to a shaliach, say the kaddish li isha. Go and be makadesh a woman, but he doesn't tell him exactly who to be makadesh. Right? Stop. Also, he cannot marry any woman in the world until he figures out who was the one that the shaliach gave the kiddushin to, because whoever the woman is could be a relative. Not only you're not allowed to marry your wife's relatives, her sister, her daughter, her mother. So any woman in the world could be a relative of the woman that the shaliach gave kiddushin to, because we rely on a few things. Number one, there's a presumption that if you tell a shaliach to do something, he's going to do it. The kivan deloy parish, like since the shaliach didn't tell him which woman he gave kiddushin to, so we don't know who this guy gave kiddushin to, and therefore he's prohibited to all the women, like we explained. Reish Lakish presented the following kasha. Kain stuma.
Ernie, can't you ask the shaliach? Who did you makad?
So shaliach forgot. He doesn't know who he gave it to.
Okay.
So in Hanami, if the shaliach tells you who he gave kiddushin to, then we don't have a Gemara here.
Yeah, but it's a blanket. It's a blanket statement.
Stam. He gave her he gave the shaliach kiddushin stam, without specifying which woman, and the shaliach gave it to someone. We don't know who he gave it to. Okay, now here's the kasha. Anybody who becomes tameh, like a man with a seminal emission or a woman with an emission, or a yoledes, a woman who gave birth. So depending on whether it's a female or a male, on day 41 for a male, and on day 81 for a female, she has to bring korbanos, or a mitzora. After they go through a purification, they have to bring korbanos. They have to bring a pair of birds, one a chatas and one an ola. And he bought two birds. He didn't designate yet which bird is the ola and the chatas. That's called a kain stuma. And parcha goes lechad man lavir. One of the birds flew away. Oh, shaparcha lebein chatas amesos. You have chatas birds that, for various reasons, they all have to be put to death. For example, the bailim died, or the bailim were machaper with something else. That's called chatas amesos. Oh, the third possibility is mace echad mehem. One of these two pair of birds died. Well, you have a remedy. Yikach zug l'sheni. You hadn't designated which bird was an ola, which a chatas. They're both regular birds. So you buy another bird, and now you have a pair of birds. Then you can say, okay, this one's a chatas, this is an ola, and you move on in the process. However, ilu kein mefureshes, let's say you had a pair of birds that you did designate each one of them, one is an ola, one is a chatas, and one of them flies away, ein lo takana. So we don't know which one was the ola, which one was the chatas. So you don't know when you purchase another bird which one you're going to make an ola or chatas. So you have no takana with this bird. You have to start again with a pair of birds. Now we have a problem. One of these birds was a chatas bird or an ola bird, and now it flew away. and it's mixed in with all the other birds in the world. Why aren't we concerned about that? Ilu shar kinin ba'alma mitakna. We don't say, oh, now you cannot buy regular birds because maybe one of those birds is the chatas or nola, and you got to know which one it is. So why ve'amai lema kol chada v'chada dil mahayniu? Listen, by the woman, by the kiddushin case, we're concerned that each woman could be a relative of the woman that he gave kiddushin to. How come here we're not concerned that any bird you buy is going to be the chatas ola that flew away? So the Gemara gives an interesting answer. Amar le, Kamina ano isha de lo naida. Amrit li'at isur denayit. So a woman is in her house. She's kavua. She's not jumping around to different places. A bird is considered always moving. Now, we have a concept of kol kavua kemertza mertza dami. What does that mean? Let's say you have 9 kosher butcher stores on a block and 1 non-kosher butcher store. And you find a piece of meat out in the street in front of these stores. So it's been separated from the kavua. So we say, kol de parush meruba parush. We say, well, they're not, if it's separated from the kavua, you go after rov. Since there's 9 kosher butchers that this meat could have come from, we say that it's kosher. If you find the piece of meat in the store, in a makom kavua, so then, and you don't know which store it was, so then you treat it 50-50. I could have been in the goyish store, in the non-kosher store, or there we don't go after rov. So by a woman, she's considered lo naida, she's considered kavua. Therefore, every woman could be either the woman, the relative of the woman, or a regular woman. So it's 50-50. So therefore, whenever there's a suffix doraisa, we go l'chumra. That's why you can't marry any other woman. But the bird, which jumps around, is considered parush, and we follow rov, since the majority of birds in the world are not a problem. So you can use the bird. That's how the Gemara looks. Well, maybe a woman walks. Why do you say that a woman is kavua? Maybe she's also nayid. So, for Kaddish. And in fact, maybe when the shaliach gave kiddush, he gave it to her in a marketplace, which is not in a home. But the Gemara says, yeah, but a woman goes home. But the bird that's hopping around never goes to a resting place. So therefore she's treated like a makom kavua, and therefore it's considered kemertza mertza dami, and therefore she's prohibited. That's the outcome of the Gemara. Amar Rava, umoide Rabbi Yochanan be'isha she'en lo bas, v'lo bas v'lo bas ben, v'lo ein v'lo achlis. A woman who happens to have no relatives, there's no daughters, no granddaughters, no mother passed away, no grandmother, she has no sister. So there are no females that are related to her. So even if she had a sister, but later got divorced, that's okay. Because at the time that the Kiddush was given, her sister was married. And we'll see that therefore we're not concerned because the Shaliach is not going to give Kiddushin to a married woman. It's not Chal anyways, if you give Kiddushin to an Eish Asish. So dahi sharya, a woman with no relatives, you'd be able to marry. The woman, the man who gave the shaliach orders to give kiddushin to some woman, so this woman doesn't have any relatives, so we don't have to be concerned. My time, and the sister who is married and that got divorced, when the shaliach was told what to do, she was a married woman. With the shaliach, we made the shaliach. He's only going to give kiddushin to women that it's roy to give kiddushin. Period. It's not. Now comes the kasha from our Mishnah. Hareni Nazir, person says, I want to be a Nazir. And I want to take upon me the responsibility to pay them for korbanos of another Nazir that has to finish his Nazirus and bring korbanos. And another guy heard the guy making the neder and says, I want vani, me too. And we said, imayu pikhin, if they were smart, so megachin zed zed, they should pay for each other's korbanos. If imlav megachin is machem, otherwise they have to be megaleach, they have to pay for the korbanos of a third party nazir. So I understand Bishlam Basra Eke Kadmo Kameh. The second guy who said va'ani, so the first guy had already become a nazir. So I understand that he has the right to pay for the korbanos for that guy. Ela Kadmo Mika Basra Kameh. But when the first guy made his statement, there were that other second guy didn't exist. So he can't be referring to the other guy. What he meant to say is if he becomes a Nazir, why didn't the Shaliach say the same kind of Tanai, that maybe this woman, I was thinking about her, that if she got divorced, I'm going to be Bakadisher. Amri, we answer, Lo Mashvini Shaliach El Milsa de Motzi Avid Ashto. The shaliach is only going to work with a woman who he can work with right now. For something that's going to happen in the future, he's not going to think about that. Freight the Gemara v'lo. What? A shaliach is not going to be thinking about the future. I'll show you examples where he will think about the future. Toshma. A person has an executor who runs his assets of his estate. And he's about to go on a business trip to China. And he tells the executor, call Nadorm Shatidor Ishti. We know that a husband has a right to annul the Nadorim of his wife. And he tells the agent that if you hear my wife make Nadorim, until I get back from China, please annul them. The Hayfair law. And he did. The husband went to China. The wife made Nadorim. And the agent annulled them. Yachol Yehu Muforin. I might think that the Nadorim are annulled. Talmud Loimer, Isha Yikimenu V'Isha Yiferenu. The Torah says only a husband can do it, not a Shaliach. Divrei Rabbi Yoshi. Rav Yonason says no. We know throughout halacha, we have a principle that a shaliach is like him. So this apotropos, he made a shaliach. So just like he can annul his wife's nedorim, he can make a shaliach to annul the nedorim. And time fine. The Torah wrote a pasuk that only a husband can do it. But halav hachi, without the Torah's exeris hakasu, in principle, apotropos mefer, the agent would have the ability, even according to Rabbi Yoshia. Now, what about the husband himself before he goes to China? He says, I'm about to go to China. I'll be gone for 6 months.
Ernie. So it's basically you can't go against the pasuk. So the Rambam must paskin that a shaliach cannot be made from the Dorim.
The Rambam says like this. Also shaliach lahaferes nidre ishto lakaimon eno klum she'eno yochel laso shliach l'dvarim.
Yeah.
There was a machloikes tanoim between Rabbi Yoshia and Rabbi Yonason. The Rambam paskins like Rabbi Yoshia.
Rabbi Yoshia, but so because it's a straight up, it's not a Gezerah Shabbat, it's not you're not learning out over here that Shaliach Adam Kemoisa, that you learn out. It's not straight up pasuk.
The Rambam could have paskin like Rabbi Yonason. Here, the Rambam paskin like Rabbi Yoshia because of the Gzeres HaKosov. We do say, says the Rambam in Sefer Noshim, Ha'omer l'shlucho l'kadosh lo isha, o la'asaf ora iska mischarei shliach oisud imkomo. So we pashkin like both. We say shlucho shalom kimoso, but because there's a Gzeres HaKosov, Yishai Kimenu v'Yishai Ferenu, by that case, we don't allow it.
Right, because there's a Gzeres HaKosov. There's no Gzeres HaKosov but Kedushim. Okay.
Not just that. In all dinim, you notice they said dvarim mischarim. A person said to ask as his business agent, it works.
But that's a Gzeres HaKosov.
Yep. Now, here's the problem. Ilu gabi date. What about the husband himself? A husband also can be mekayim his wife's nadori. But let's say he's going to go to China, going to be gone for 6 months. He tells his wife, any nadorim you make between now and 6 months, it'll be mekuyim. Lo omar klum. He cannot do so. He doesn't have the power to do so because he has to be present at the time he does, and she says it. Now, what about annulment? Can he pre-annul? If he says Hareyon Mufarim, so it's machlokes tanoim. Rabbi Ezra Omer Mufer, the Chachamim Omrim Eino Mufer. Comes out that the Shaliach has more power than the guy himself. The Salka died and killed Rabbi Yoshia. Our Havamina, when Rabbi Yoshia said that he doesn't have the right to do it through the apotropos, Ali bin Rabbanan Damri, he's going like these Chachamim who say that the Baal doesn't have the right to do it. Lo matzi mefer, he doesn't have the right to pre-annul. The ilavdam rachmana. If it wasn't for the fact that the Gzeres HaKosov said Yishai Kimen v'Yishai Ferenu, apotropos have a mefer, right? He cannot do it, but technically you could do it without the pasuk. It's giving sort of like we said. We said before, but if the woman, if the woman was married and only later got a divorce, we see the shaliach that the shaliach had more power than the husband. Right? Maybe it's not so because maybe Rabbi Yoshua is saying it, or according to Rabbi Ezra, that allowed a husband to pre-annul. Then, if a husband can pre-annul, why would he ever appoint a shaliach? He could do it himself. That's not a kasha because ksaver dilma mishtalina or ratachna or mitradina. No, even though that ain't a chanami, the husband has the right to do it himself. He still might appoint a shaliach. He might be angry at the time. He might be lazy, and therefore, there's no proof from there. Now, what's the halacha? Says the Rambam. Ha'omer leishto shekol nedorm shetidor mishazu achiyazu yumuform lo amar krum shenabal va'av mefirim kodem shetidor. You can't pre-annul prior to her making the neder. You have to wait till she makes a neder, then only then you can pre-annul. Yud Beis Amud Beis. We're still in the Daf Yomi. We're going to start the Novi Shir. Hi, Betty. We're going to start the Novi Shir in about 5 minutes. I'm still finishing up the Daf Yomi, but please, you're welcome to stay for the Daf Yomi. Person says, I'm going to pay for half of the korbanos of the Nazir. Me too. So zemegalech Nazir Shalom, zemegalech Nazir Shalom. Each one, you can't take a half a Nazir. What? They can each combine to pay for the korbanos of one Nazir. He says, half the korbanos of a Nazir on me. Chatzi korban maisi. That works. He was noid there a certain financial amount, and everybody agrees. Yet if he says korbanos chatzi Nazir like kulei korban boisui, that there's no such thing as a chatzi Nazir. They'd have to bring all the korban. My time, huh? There's no half Naziris. The machlokas is when you said the lashon of the Mishnah, which was hareya alai legalei chatzi Nazir. Rav Meir Sarakiv to hareya alai ichayva kula korban Naziris. Once you say the words hareya alai, you're chayav a whole Naziris. The fact that he said chatzi Naziris lav kol kamina, we don't listen to that. However, Chachamim say we do listen to it. Neder pesachim. He made a ned there, but he got him. He also said something to get himself out of it. He could ask a chacham a shaila to get out of it. Okay, we'll stop here with the new Mishnah. I will call back in 3 minutes, Mario, when we start the Navi Shir. We'll be on in 3 minutes.
Okay.